What's up guys, and welcome to our brand new playthrough where we're going to be building a European city based off the new region pack. This episode we're going to really just be laying down the foundations, getting a couple things down, kind of setting our road layout, and really just exploring just the very beginnings of our city. I'm really excited about this playthrough. I'm sure you guys are too, just to see what kind of new assets are coming into the game. As always, I would really appreciate you guys having an opinion on how this goes. Let me know what you like, what you don't like, what you like to see improve. My name is J-Roz Builds. If you want to see more content from me, leave a like, subscribe. If you could, leave a comment for the algorithm. We're going to waste too much time, you guys. Let's get right into it. What's good, you guys, and welcome to a brand new playthrough. I'm so excited to get into this. We're going to be creating a European city. Now, the map we're going to be going with, please excuse my French pronunciations. I want to say it's the city of Nantes. It's mostly a one-to-one map recreation, but we aren't going to go one-to-one on the actual city. We're going to create our own version of this city and based on a couple different French cities like Saint-Étienne and also, of course, Paris, France. I'm exploring a European city because there is a France region pack out that was released in the Paradox Map Store. And I want you guys to leave your favorite city name for this French city. Give me a lot of different options, comment your favorite, and I'll personally go through every comment and figure out a name for our new city. All right, and this is our beginning tile. Looks like we don't really have too much to work with, to be honest with you guys. First thing I always check in every new city is which way the wind speed is going. In this case, it's going to kind of upper right, meaning we need to be cognizant that if we're going to be placing industrial, it needs to run kind of out this way. Granted, spoiler alert, we're not going to be doing a whole lot of huge industrial areas, more so going to be trying to focus in on farming and architecture and forestry and things of that nature in the city. And mostly in this city, we're going to try to stick to specialized industry. Now, because this will be kind of based off of a real city, multiple cities, we're going to be actually referencing Google Earth. Like I have Google Earth pulled up right next to me. We're going to be referencing a lot of their road layouts as we go. And because it's a European city, there's going to be some windy and more so organic grids going on instead of the normal North American 90-degree angle grids that we see in my other build. Actually, on this channel that you can check out, Paradise Springs. All right, so as we're going, we're just trying to space out this grid to be as organic as possible. I want it to actually look like it was an original city and then it sprawled out. You know, the goal of the city really is to have some form of history or have some form of feel or kind of like a vibe going to it. So as we're going, we're just making sure to keep cognizant of that. So as this is going to be more so wavy, it's going to get more structured as we go over to the east. I think adding in this road really helps to break up that gridding, makes it just look a little bit more dynamic. I mean, I think it would make sense for a street to need to get up here. Then this is going to be a big roundabout. All right, and then this road I'm thinking is going to become another connection to go over to this area, which this would be a highly gridded area. It's also going to have the majority of our French region pack. So this area is going to be a lot of French region pack. So until then, we're going to kind of keep it pretty low density residential and waterfront housing for the most part. Kind of going into here. But before we do that, I definitely want to make the area, or just our kind of like initial area for some industrial and also for our services. So how we're going to extend out into this area, we're just going to take this main medium road, going to kind of follow it down, and then and then curve out into this area. I'm thinking we might create our own little roundabout type area that isn't a roundabout. All right, now we have a perfect circle. We're gonna connect this road, and probably one of these roads up to this big central roundabout. All right, right here will probably be one of our big train stations. So we'll leave this area for now, but we'll zone kind of like the outside of it. All right, so I think for now, that is an awesome beginning for our kind of initial road layout. From here, we're gonna start adding in our services because that's gonna be the first thing that we need to do. I definitely wanna add in a new water tower, which comes in the French pack. Now for where we're gonna place it, I'm not sure yet. I think a good spot for it to be would be right over here towards the entrance to our city. So that when people come in, such as here, it's one of the first things that you see when you first come into the city. So I think that would be really cool. For power, wind speed is just way too slow on this map. So we're gonna have to go to an alternative option. So for a very short time, we're gonna be adding in this small coal power plant, which will do the job for the beginning of our city. And while doing that, we unlock milestone 1, which is Tiny Village, which gives us 3 expenditure permits, some extra money, and development points. But for now, we're not gonna worry about that. For our transformer, we actually do have the option for the electrical substation from the new pack, but we're just gonna use the same old transformer station for right now. But I wanna use this electrical substation closer to where it actually is gonna look nice in the architecture. Because for these, this isn't gonna match a lot of the architecture, at least early on. So for now, we're just gonna put a plain old transformer station and then connect up via power line. All right, all that's left for now is sewage, which until we get our water treatment plant, it's just gonna have to be done by our sewage outlet. So after all the preliminaries are now done, all we're gonna do is just connect everything else up. We're also gonna connect to the outside via this line all the way to our transformer station. That way we can export the electricity that we're making with our coal power plant. Lastly, it's time to start zoning. Basically, the plan is we're gonna do some residential down here. We're gonna do just a small plot of industrial right here. And then this is also gonna be residential with the train system kind of flowing through here, maybe like wrapping around and kind of coming through and snaking its way around. But for now, let's go ahead and add in a bunch of residential. Mostly gonna be the low density waterfront housing and also some of this medium density row housing. So it looks like we will need sewage. So for a short time, we're gonna just add in this sewage outlet, but we're gonna try to delete it as soon as possible so that we don't get any crazy sewage, because I really just don't want any crazy sewage to be in this water at all. right, and our next biggest demand right now is for some industrial. So we're gonna put this kind of like right over here next to our power plant. This is probably just temporary, so we're not gonna go too crazy with zoning. Also, while I'm at it, I do want to adjust our services budget. I want to bring our water and sewage, kind of just check it out. So we look at water, we really have no room really to scale it back, but for sewage, we actually do. So for sewage, we're going to scale our services back just a little bit. And for electricity, since we're trading it, we're not going to actually go down in what we spend on it because we're making a decent amount, $49,000 a month in trading our XCR services. So biggest thing we can do right now is just kind of get our amount of people who are living here up so that we can charge more for taxes. Looks like the water tower is going to need a little bit of help. So I kind of always seen it as like a stylized building anyway. So we're just going to get a little water pump. We're going to just throw it around, maybe like over here, just to get some water in from our little natural river. All right, and while we're doing that, we became a small village. Get 2 more development points, 4 tile points, also some more money. Let's continue zoning. Also get a signature building that looks actually really cool. All right, so we unlocked some medium density housing. So we're also gonna put some medium density housing around the middle here. Probably like a big building. Just wanna do one singular building, see if we can try and just get one. There we go. One singular big building right here. Kind of like surrounded by some medium density warehousing. It's just gonna kind of fill in this area and be a statement right now for this upcoming area. As you guys can see, we're slowly catching up in money as well, but we do have a litany of new things to now put down, such as the education centers and a couple of different other things. So we're just going to give it some time until we get to that, but for now we're going to continue just to zone it. I think I've changed my mind. We're going to add some of this French pack buildings in here because I'm just curious to see how it's going to zone in. As you guys will shortly see, we kind of went a little bit overboard with the zoning. Eventually we will actually come to zone this whole area, this front area, in that region pack kind of style. So at first this wasn't a plan. So a lot of the stuff we're gonna like kind of just upzone over time as we continue to zone this. So if you see a lot more of this like French pack being entered into here, don't really be surprised. You know, and in time, as we continue to zone this up, we'll kind of diverse it out and make sure that it kind of blends in some with some of the like original European zoning as well. And we'll kind of imbue some of that original zoning into there as well and kind of hopefully meld it together into a really nice blend. But for now, we're just kind of taking a couple of bit of liberties to add in a lot of new areas. But also, I wanted to add in a lot more trees, simply because this place is just looking kind of dead without the trees. So we added in a grab some of the trees in there as well, hopefully to just kind of liven the area up until we get some more zoning in. All right, so obviously looks like we need a medical clinic, which we're gonna go ahead and place. They have a medical center that is based off of the new French Region Pack. So we're actually gonna put down this building instead of a traditional medical clinic, which we're gonna place right about here. It's kind of cool if it's that style and look. It kind of just blends in really well with the surrounding architecture. I'm actually not gonna put the cemetery because it's just so large. It takes up way too much space. Too chunky of an asset. So we're actually gonna go with a crematorium. We just have to unlock it with a development point. So we're gonna go to healthcare. We're gonna go ahead and get a crematorium. Actually, we just unlocked large village, which means we got 5 more expansion permits, 3 development points, some money. So we're actually gonna use one of those development points to go ahead and get our crematorium. And we're gonna place our crematorium right over here in this same kind of like similar area because it also matches the theme, since it's also a French Region Pack building. And there is our crematorium. We're going to continue to try to upzone some of this little area and also expand out into this area up here, which is going to be more of like a residential area to begin with, and it might change over time. We're also going to take the time to go ahead and get our roundabouts, which is, I mean, such an important part of European cities. So we're going to use one development point to unlock our roundabouts. I definitely want to kind of make this a roundabout area right here. So let's see how we can make this work. There you have it. Nice little roundabout. It's going to kind of cover this area, be like a really big junction for people coming from this way. You can just round about and either go up this way or down towards this side of the city. I'm thinking a lot of this coastal area we're gonna keep in this style with some row housing kind of like peeking behind it. I think that kind of grouping is a good combo. Keep closer towards the coast, and then as we kind of branch out, it'll diminish off into more so like a European style, with some areas sprinkled with the French Region Pack. We aren't doing amazing with money right now, but mostly that's because taxes aren't really where they need to be right now. I need to zone a whole lot more. All right, so here we continue with our upzoning. I really like the look of the row houses, kind of like on this coastline. So I got rid of a lot of this low density housing that was already there, and I kind of replaced it with French Region Pack. So I replaced a lot of these areas with French Region Pack row housing, and I really like how it looks. It just kind of gives it like a very stout look, and it's just kind of like different to what we already have. So I added some more waterfront housing kind of further out to make up for it. All right, we just reached Grand Village. More development points, more expansion permits. We're just gonna keep kind of going on. We finally reached the point where we're actually making money in this city. It's a very important milestone. Now that we reach Grand Village, first thing I want to do actually is add in these low density offices, kind of like this buffer between. But the only thing is, because we're adding in offices, we're gonna need education so we can get more demand for our offices. For one, because offices make an absurd amount of money. It's gonna help our economy a whole lot. And also just because I really want as minimum smokestacks in our industrial area really as possible. As you guys can see, our office tax is already making 20,000 and we only have a couple offices really put into the whole area already. So they're a major piece of making money in this game. Like I said, to keep that up, we're gonna need education. So we're gonna add some education to our area. Starting with the elementary school, this new elementary school has a 12,000 a month upkeep, but it also has a 1,000 student capacity, which is pretty solid when you compare it to the small high school, and it's the same as the regular elementary school. We're gonna place it kind of like right here towards the middle of our emerging little downtown. Which means we also need to upgrade the zoning over here in these areas. We're also going to add in the French Pack High School, which is a pretty big building. Thinking I may want to put it, I really want to put it across the water, but I do not feel like making a connection right now over to this side. All right, now this side we're actually gonna start building on, and this will be fully the French style packs. So we're just gonna kind of follow this coastline, keeping it as close to straight lines as possible. Also going to add in another connection over here. It's extremely important for us to kind of keep it as gridded as possible. For this side, we want to keep it as boxy as possible because these buildings just do good in boxes. And because this is still a game, it doesn't allow for us to have sometimes the best angles. I can't say ever since this update, the zoning has just felt absolutely horrible. I don't know if anything was like adjusted or like kind of tampered with, but the zoning has been absolutely like, look at this breakage right here. This is just mad. It's been absolutely horrible. I mean, for anybody who has played in the patch, let me know your thoughts. Like, just because, I mean, that has been probably the most annoying part of it. It's like, if the zoning was where it's supposed to be, this patch would have been absolutely a grand slam out the park, right? But with it being this way, it kind of soured a little bit of the effectiveness of a pack like this, simply because things just aren't working the way that they are supposed to work. All right, all that's left is to start zoning up this area in our French pack. Also, before we do that, we're gonna go ahead and put our high school down right about here. I think it'd be perfect. All right, another milestone, Tiny Town, which unlocks a very important thing. Also got a new signature building, got the Cafe de Paris, but it unlocks something even more exciting, which is our mixed housing, which we want to put all along this area. All right, now that we're back into green, I definitely want to add in our police station, which we're going to do obviously the French pack version. We're going to put it actually on this side. We're also going to start placing in these French signature buildings as well. I think this signature building will look really cool right here. I'm also going to use one of our development points to get parks, because I think parks are extremely important, and European places do a lot of great things with parks. So we're gonna get our sports parks for right now. Also gonna get large parks as well. I really love how this elementary school came out. It just looks like one kind of like building, I guess you would say, with like little wings or something like that kind of attached to it. Very, very cool. This came out awesome. And it's beginning to kind of blend in with the surrounding area, so which I think a lot of this area I'll probably go back in and up zone in the future. So for now it's fine, but in a later episode we'll probably go in and actually like up zone a lot of this stuff. We're also going to buy railroads while we're in here, because trains are going to be an integral part of the city. You're going to kind of cut through here and be a big part of the city. I was going to put a little roundabout out here with a tree and bushes in. How about this traffic some? We're also going to make this a very large roundabout with trees in the middle. Looks like that did help a little bit in clearing up some of the traffic. We also unlocked Milestone 6, Boomtown. And honestly, this episode is about over. We're just going to add in probably some parks, because we desperately need some parks in this city. And then probably just going to kind of finish it around there. We're not going to do too much. Do a little bit of decoration up here, and we'll go from there. And that's the end of episode 1. I hope you guys enjoyed. I had such a blast editing this. It took forever, but it was honestly so worth it. There's still so much more to the city to delve into, including next episode. We're going to be doing an extremely expansive kind of effort on our railroad system. So I hope you guys are excited for that, because rail is going to be such a big part of this city. I just thank you guys. Make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe. Also, let me know what you want this city to be named, so we can have a proper name for this city. I thank you guys so much for your support. I appreciate you. Have a amazing rest of your day. Thank you. Till next time, JRI Builds.